Greetings to you all and welcome to our introductory presentation on Youth with a Difference or YOWADI program. Now, YOWADI is an idea of freshness which has to do with the aspect of being newly made in every area of life. And it's a program that looks at youthfulness as not necessarily age group in terms of being young or immature, but it's an idea that is looking at having a brand new start for all people of all genders and all age groups. In other words, we have in mind the fact that every human being has shortcomings in their lives. They have issues where they have stumbled, they have failed, they have disappointments, they have not achieved what they have wanted to achieve, and therefore sometimes experience what we may refer to as stagnation in life. And so, under YOWADI, we are looking at a holistic approach where you look at life in all areas of life. In other words, there's the spiritual, the social, the psychological, as well as the other areas of life which deal with emotions, which have to do with our educational aspects, they have to do with our economies, they have to do with our spiritual relationship, not only with God, but with man as well. And so it is an aspect that is looking at the social, the physical, psychological, as well as the spiritual aspects of our lives, as well as many other aspects. And so holistic approach is also something that we are trying to bring about and therefore encourage a fora where we can discuss, where we can bring out ideas on all aspects that affect our lives. And so YOWADI, or Youth with a Difference, is a program that we have initiated to encourage frankness. In other words, it's an aspect of encouraging the discovery of one's true self-identity. It is a program that is encouraging people to discover who they really are. And this is through creation of an environment in which one will express themselves in a healthy way, and healthy in the sense of well-being and not just medical aspects as we've always looked at it. And so health under YOWADI is also something that we're looking at from the holistic point of view in terms of wellness. And so there's emotional health that leads to emotional intelligence. And this has to do with the way we manage our emotions, feelings, as well as understand those of the people that we interact with. We have under mental health the aspect of social intelligence. We have psychological intelligence, which is something that is needed in our relationships with each other. And so, looking at these from a deeper perspective, we're encouraging a platform like Youth with a Difference or YOWADI to be something that will lead to interaction and be able to express our views on various aspects of life that affects us socially, spiritually, psychologically, physically, in every aspect. In other words, what we're encouraging is holistic health care. In other words, let us be a people that will be able to bring out what is on our hearts, because that's something that we've realized has caused a lot of problems in a lot of us and led to stagnation, led to lack of development because of not having been allowed to express ourselves as we really are supposed to. Now, under Youth with a Difference, when we talk of youthfulness as an idea of freshness, it is an aspect of renewing our minds, all right? Change our attitude, change our mentality. And this, therefore, takes us into looking at our backgrounds, things that we've gone through, things that we have experienced right from childhood. In fact, we would like to bring in discussions where we discuss, bring out things that happen right from conception itself. Because a lot of times we've concentrated on life in terms of what happens after we are born. But it is important for us to look at issues that have to do right from conception. What is it that really goes on in a human's life right at the point that they are conceived. All right. And this is important because the environment that we're exposed to is not necessarily this physical environment that we know in terms of the air, the soil, the water, the trees, but it is a spiritual environment which in most cases is ignored or not understood. But this environment starts from right from the point of conception, right from the moment that every one of us is conceived in our mother's womb. We're exposed to a particular environment, and this environment affects us for the rest of our lives. And so, under YOWADI, we are encouraging expression of our inner being. In other words, let there be inner healing, let there be renewal of our minds, let there be discovery of self identity. And therefore, we are encouraging expression of people's views, comments, encouraging each other, questions, having question answer sessions, asking about various aspects of life, whether there be career issues, whether there be social interaction, social relationships, marriage, sexual relationships, or sexual development. This is something that we're trying to encourage in order to bring about holistic health. In other words, let there be an aspect of us having an investigative and diagnostic approach to problem solving. And so you are all welcome and are encouraged to continue sharing your thoughts and ideas as we develop various programs that will lead to discussions and exchange of ideas under this Youth with a Difference. And so let us move on and be investigative and diagnostic in our approach in every aspect of life and be able to question certain things that have gone on around us, be able to get answers, be able to find out the root causes of certain problems that we are going through, and therefore find the most appropriate solution to those problems. And so it's an environment that we're trying to create which will lead to natural mind setting. In other words, it is an environment where we want to be who we really are. Each one will be encouraged to be who they are, and therefore there will be no need to pretend to be what you are not. In other words, even the artificial intelligence that is there right now is looked at as a tool, and it is not something that is meant to replace natural human reasoning. And so we're trying to encourage the continuation of natural human reasoning. Let us be able to question and find out what is going on around us. Why is it that you feel the way you feel? Why is it that you think the way you think? Why is it that things are going on the way they are going on? That is important for you to understand and therefore be able to find appropriate answers. And this can only be done when there is discussion and be able to understand various aspects that are going on around us. And so this is what we're encouraging and therefore hoping that we'll all have a free interaction. Thank you.